Namaste, dear students. Welcome to the module number 5, Unit 2, Additive Manufacturing Systems. See, basic structure of additive manufacturing and its subcategories. And this particular figure takes us to the two classifications, that is application and technology. The prior to the technology feasible, the application was focused with respect to rapid prototyping in manufacturing and prototyping, where manufacturing, that means here the rapid manufacturing, so manufacturing of final parts, and other one is prototyping, where rapid prototyping, in which the manufacturing of concept models, functional prototypes. But in between the rapid prototyping and rapid manufacturing, we have rapid tooling. Rapid tooling is nothing but the manufacturing of the tools and the tool inserts, which is a very important part in manufacturing preparation of the tool. It is referred in the literature that about 30% of the total productive time is spent on producing of the tool. So by using the rapid prototyping, the people earlier have used it for building the tooling. But as the technology is frozen and the optimization is taken place on the technology, now we have the simpler process that is used to get the end-to-end product with the name called additive manufacturing or 3D printing. So let us refresh some of the basic terminologies which you have used in our earlier session. Additive. Additive, as the name itself indicates, it's a dictionary meaning that adding material to an object, usually layer by layer, which can also be a synonym for rapid prototyping. So it is just like a logical concept, like we are going to build a house. When we are going to build a house, we are going to lay up the bricks. As these bricks are laid up on layer by layer, so that it builds up the 3D model. And the second terminology, what we have to understand is the subtractive. Subtractive is nothing but a removing of materials such as with the mills, lathes, or drills. So this is what we have used with the conventional machining systems. All conventional machining systems are subtractive in nature. So other part is the compressive. Compresses the large files to make them smaller. Similarly, we are using some kind of the files, 3D model files, which is converted into the RP files or the additive manufacturing files, which can take a huge the memory space. So you have to go on compressing it, and we have to use further. Slice file. Slice files are the unique type of file. They contain or reference a single piece of sample data, have a list of makers denoting slices on the sample, and also have a set of parameters such as the tempo and the time signature. So it is nothing but the generic part of the file, which will specifically tells us about the details, the minute details of the part, and the generator of the part. See, additive manufacturing process chain, just to go and recap of this. So, any additive manufacturing starts with the conceptualization, developing a CAD, and thereby the CAD model is converted into structural triangulation language, or it is the STL file. Then we have to transfer this STL file and manipulation of this STL file into the additive manufacturing machine. We need to go on the setting up the machine, then start building using the material, then remove the part and clean up the process. So if required, post processing of the part is essential, then the part can be directly used on application. This is what we mean by additive manufacturing process chain. So moving on to the classification of this additive manufacturing system, we have three major classifications. The better way is to classify additive manufacturing systems broadly by initial form of its materials. All additive manufacturing systems can be easily categorized into liquid based, solid based, and powder based methods. The broad classification, again, I can go in details with the methods or the techniques which are used under this classification. The classification number one, where the build material is the liquid state. The following additive manufacturing systems fall into this category. First one is the stereolithography apparatus SLA. This is very important one and very first of the kind. Polyjet 3D printing, multi-jet printing. It is also abbreviated as MJP. Solid object ultraviolet laser printer. It is SOUP. Then fifth one is the rapid freeze prototyping. In this case, the first one and fourth one, that is the solid object ultraviolet laser printer and the stereolithography apparatus, are widely used methods. Second one is the build material is the solid kind except powder. The solid form can include the shaped uniforms of a wire, rolls, laminates, and the pellets. The following additive manufacturing systems fall into this category. The first one is the technique that uses the solid state material as fused deposition modeling FDM. Second one is the selective deposition modeling SDL. Third one is laminated object manufacturing. It is also abbreviated as LOM. Fourth one is ultrasonic consolidation. And moving on to the third category, in this case, the material used is solid state except powder. So we have and the last one, we have the proven technique or the methods which uses the additive manufacturing. With all these available techniques, the proven additive manufacturing techniques are stereolithography apparatus SLA, fused deposition modeling FDM, and selective laser sintering method SLS. The basic concept of SLA, selective, it is nothing but the stereolithography. Stereolithography has, this is the very first technology of additive manufacturing or the rapid prototyping, which uses the concept, of having a vat. Vat is nothing but a container filled with a liquid, which is nothing but a special character of this filled liquid is it is a UV curable photopolymer resin. UV curable photopolymer resin and a UV laser to build the parts by layer at a time. The technique follows with the exposure of light, which cures the pattern traced on the resin systems and the adheres to the previous layers. So we have shown here a vat, and the part which is being built is shown in blue color. And we have said that it is a layers of solid resins, and there is a platform and piston. We have the resin, and we have a laser there, laser beam interacting with the part, and there is a scanning system. The laser yields out the laser which is being scanned by the scanner, and which guides onto the profile onto the liquid resin, which is controlled with the platform using a piston. And with the methodology, you have to adjust the thickness, the layer thickness. Based on this adjusted layer thickness, the piston or the platform will descend downwards, making the fresh resin surface on the platform, which is again exposed to the UV rays. Yes, in detail, the stereolithography, one of the most important additive manufacturing technology and which is currently available. The first ever commercial RP system were resin-based systems commonly called as the stereolithography or a SLA. SLA is the short form of the stereolithography, where stereolithography and A goes to apparatus. The resin is a liquid photosensitive polymer that cures or hardens the stereolithography when exposed to the ultraviolet radiation. This technique involves the curing of solidification of a liquid photosensitive polymer through the use of irradiation light source. The source supplies the energy that is needed to induce a chemical reaction, that is nothing but the curing process. It enhances the bonding of large number of small molecules and forming a highly cross-linked polymer. So I have a SLA diagram schematic of the process is shown here. Stereolithography vat. The container is called as a vat, and vat is filled with the resin. And the arrangement is so made that there is a holder, there is a platform, and there is a part which is being done, mechanism for laser and positioning of this laser, and there is a elevator mechanism, that is a lead screw kind of elevator. So there is a liquid polymer. The vat contains the liquid polymer. Now you have to think like the UV light which is exposed from the laser, that will be heating onto the polymer surface. So affinity of the polymer is to go on curing once it interacts with the laser light. So that's how we say it is a photosensitive polymer. That means the polymer will go on curing once it interacts with the light source. When this UV light comes from a laser which is controlled to scan across the surface according to the cross section of the part that corresponds to the layer, because already we have made the part in 3D. CAD modeling is already available, and this CAD data is sliced and it is converted into STL files, and these STL files are linked to the additive manufacturing machines. Machines will read the data from the STL files. Thus it can go on controlling the lead screw elevator, and based on the requirement the lead screw lowering can be controlled with the thickness of the layer what is going to be cured by the laser. The laser penetrates into the resin for a short distance that corresponds to the layer thickness. So we have to have a function called layer thickness configuration. So every product can be configured with the layer thickness. That is how these layers are built over each other. Hence we call it as a layer by layer technique. The laser penetrates into the resin for a short distance that corresponds to the layer thickness. After that, the first layer is bonded to the platform, because platform is the base which holds the part. So first layer is going to bond to the platform, which is placed just below the surface of the resin. Then what happens? The platform will be lowered. You can see that in the second figure where the Z is shown downward direction. That means the part whichever is completed or skewed, that will be submerged in the liquid polymer. The platform lowering by one layer thickness, and the scanning is on the platform is done for the next layers. This process continues till the part has become completed. Facts about the SLA. Each layer is having configured with 0.076 millimeters to 0.5 mm thick. This is what the thickness we can control with the SLA. And starting materials are always liquid monomers or liquid polymers. Third one is polymerization occurs on exposure to ultraviolet light produced by the laser scanning beam. So the raster scanning speeds continue up to 500 to 2500 millimeter per second. So how we are going to build the part in the stereolithography? Time to complete a single layer. So we have an equation here, Ti equal to A by Vd plus Td, where Ti is the time to complete a layer. I stands for, that's ith layer, and A stands for the area of the layer, and V is the average scanning speed of the laser. It may range from 500 to 2500 millimeter per second, and the D goes to the diameter of the spot size or the assumed circular, it is Td, delay time between the layers to reposition the work table. Thank you.